2 days on email deployment, setting up email servers.
Yay.
Alright, we'll have a separate class for you. But if you don't want to spend a couple days setting up your email server, there are free services and paid services that we can send email through, and now we don't have to go through deploying another thing like we did yesterday. Now with that said, it's actually also a good idea to not do this yourself, especially for email, because email is based on reputation. So if your servers don't have a good reputation, your email won't get delivered. So if you use big services like Amazon, there's also another good one is Mailgun, based out of Texas here. Mailgun's a really good one. So if you ever need to send email in your application, use one of these apps. So we're going to use Amazon. Amazon gives you, I think, something like 10,000 emails free per month. So you can send like 10,000 emails or something like that, 1,000 emails for free, and you don't even have to pay for it. So use it. Alright, so let's see here. Like I said, even if you're not to this point, go ahead and follow me so that you can at least have an account set up so that you can send email in the future. Alright, so you want to log into your AWS account, and then up here on services, these are all the different services we can buy from Amazon. So as a developer, anytime you have something and you don't have to write it and you can pay for it, it's almost better to just pay for it. So some of us get really cheap. Spend a little bit of money to pay for it. You'll save yourself a lot of headache, especially with email. But like I said, actually with the Amazon service, I think we get like a couple thousand or something for free. So you can see over here, there's SES. Go ahead and click on that. And this must be simple because it's called Simple Email Service, right? So it doesn't get any better than that. Alright, so first thing you gotta do when you're in Amazon is we have to set up and verify a domain. So that's here on the side. So go ahead and click domains. And this is going to be your domain that you have bought. Okay? So I bought pizzapanther.com. I'm going to go in there. Hit Pizza Panther. And then also click this button here that says generate DKIM settings. And then go ahead. So what I did is I hit verify. You want to hit verify your domain. And put in your domain name. And verify this domain. Alright, so you see all these codes? This is stuff now that we have to add to our domain records. So we're going to go over to Google here. That's where I have mine. So let me go over to my Google here. So you just actually need the first part of it. So let's take this first one. And if you mess this up, you can always come back and verify these later. But you can see, look over here, it says text type. So I'm going to paste that first part in here. And then I'm going to do a text record. And then you're going to copy that text and stick it into the text field. And then you're going to hit add. So there's the first one. Now you're going to come in here. Actually, maybe this will make it easier. You can hit download as CSV. Let me go ahead and download it and then open it. And then you're going to want to do the same thing for these other ones. So you got to everything up into your domain. So where it says domain key, you got to copy that. And it says use a CNAME, so I'm going to use a CNAME there. Then I'm going to copy the rest of it and stick that in as my CNAME. And now I gotta do this 2 more times. Who's having fun? Copy and paste. Yeah. Yep. Anything up to your domain name, copy that in. Now what will happen is if you get this wrong, you'll get the privilege of doing it again in a couple hours. And this is just tedious work that you'll have to do anytime you want to set up a domain for email. Alright, so I have my text record and I have my 3 CNAMEs with these big long things in them. Oh, okay, so now we're not going to do this last one. This is if you want your application to actually receive email. So, you know, your application could send email, but it could also receive email and process it. We're not going to do that. So I'm going to skip this last one at the bottom. So I'm going to close that and I'll wait here for a second. Once you close that, you should see on your domain that it's pending verification. This usually takes a couple hours for Amazon to verify that you have these in. Now what sucks is if you got this wrong and copy and paste something wrong, you'll have to wait a few hours, come back here, check it, see that you pasted something wrong, and then start over again. So welcome to life as a developer. Well, okay. Okay, there's mine. Mine's verified too. or CDN. Alright, so next part, we still have to verify here. Now you want to go into your email addresses, and actually, if you're using Google, you have to have an email set up. So if you're using Google, let's go into the Google. Go ahead and click on the email. Google lets you do email forwarding. So make sure you have it set up so that star and then all your emails go to whatever your email address is. So if you have that set up in your Google domain, you can go in here and I can just put in any email. And now it's going to send me an email and I can verify it. So let's see. So all you have to do for email is parsing.
I just added.
Okay. Yeah, you just come in here and you enter email address and then put in the email address.
Just like it.
Well, you want it to be at your domain.
Right,
So
right,
like
right.
Canway or whatever your domain is. Alright. So now I can come in here. I can click on my verification. Yay, I'm verified. Alright. So now whenever you send emails with this service, you have to make sure you use one of these emails that's verified. So in your from address, use one of these emails in your Django that you have to verify. I guess you can verify anything. Maybe it doesn't have to be. Someone verify anything here. Okay. Yeah, it can actually be any email address you have. Okay, so that one's going to be slow for me. Alright, anyway, once you have completed all these verifications, we have our last step. SMTP credentials. Okay, where is that at? Okay.
Did it take you long to get your verification?
My first one came in fast, but my second one is slow. Went to my spam first. My spam folder. You might want to check your spam too. You didn't get it. Alright, anyway. This is the final step. So now you're actually going to create a username and a password that you can send email. So that's your username. It generates one. That's good. Just hit create. And then you can hit show credentials. Alright. So y'all don't memorize my password now. But this is the username and password you'll need, so copy that off. Okay. Let's start over. I'll start over with that. Alright, so you want to go to SMTP settings on the side. And then create credentials. And then create. show, and make sure you copy and paste this somewhere. So I'm gonna put this in my secrets. That's a good place to put this, because this is a secret. Actually, maybe I should make that on quiz this week, is whoever remembers my password this wins. Well, I mean, this course is just pass or fail. So, the quiz is just a requirement by the state of Texas. So, I think we'll have 2 quizzes. I mean, I guess if you really, like, spectacularly fail then, you might fail the quiz. But, the whole course is either get your certificate or you don't. But, yeah, I do have points on it. Yeah. Three. Show measure. If you ever lose your credentials, you can always make them. So it's not like a big deal. Alright, so like I said, we can actually use this on other apps, so if you don't get to this point in your Django app, that's okay. The main point of today was just to kind of hook up a form and show you all how this works. But I want to show you how this works too, because if you ever want to do like send an email on your project, this is going to have to, what you're going to have to do. So I want to get you familiar with it. So in Django, it's pretty easy. Now if we want to change our form to actually send emails, we just got to put in our settings now. So this is the settings you have to put in for Django. I'm going to copy and paste these. So now, I know some of you have gotten this far so far. So if you've gotten it printing your email to the console, get rid of that setting that says email backend, just delete that you put in for the exercise. And then just put these new settings in instead. Well, let's test it out. So you go ahead and test yours out. You got rid of, don't forget now, you updated your secrets. So you have to, when you update your secrets, right, you have to resource it. So just to check, right, if your secrets got updated. You should be able to do something like that. I think I need to just have to make sure you keep it consistent, so you can see how I put username in there. So you just gotta keep them consistent. Alright, so let's test this out from our exercise. I'm gonna close this out. Where's our exercise? Alright, so now if you didn't get this far into the exercise, that's okay, you can still test this out here. I'm gonna copy and paste this. And then I'm gonna fill in my information here. So copy this first line. And then I'm gonna do send mail, test subject. Here's a message. And we're gonna say, remember your from address is the address that you put in there, that you verified. So whatever address you verified, you wanna put it in there. And then I can send it to whoever I want. Alright, let's see if I get an email. Yay, look, I got an email from myself. No, you can only, so you see that from address, from an example? You can only send emails from addresses that you verify. So like you can't just send emails from like whoever you want. You can't say you're George Bush, right? Yes. So that is actually, you want to take that out of from the from and just put it in your message. Yeah. Yeah, so the from should only be an address that you verify. So yeah, if some of you put in the from in your form, make sure you change up your message a lot. A lot of times I'll do this when I do like a message like this. When I write my message, let me do this. I'll do. So maybe instead of putting their address into the form from field, you put their email and then you put their message. That's a good question. Like that. So basically put it into the body of your message. So when someone's filling out your contact form, you're actually sending yourself an email. They're not actually sending it. Oh, the settings are wrong. So the from should be the one that you verified. Yeah. But so two would be wherever you want to, you can send it to any, whoever you want to send it to. Yes. That's not verified. Okay, so you need email address is not verified. So you need to verify whatever your from address is. So right here, let's see. So this from address should always be the same. Oh, so the DOT. Nope. Okay, we'll check that out in a second. But maybe 866. Oh, so pending, yeah, refresh. Alright, yeah, I'll help you out. Any questions on this though? If you want to send an email, this is in in your future projects, this is the best way to go. You get your email settings, you're now using Amazon service, you can now send a couple thousand emails for free every month. This is what you want to do. Any questions on that? Again, I just want to kind of give you guys the idea that this is the kind of things we should be using, when you get to your projects. Google lets you forward your email for free. So, let's go to that one more time. That's why I moved everything on Google. I used to have my domains elsewhere. But so far, Google's the only DNS service that I found that does this for free. So you can set up a forward. So anything to my Pizza Panther address goes to Gmail. So I don't have to have several emails. I don't have to pay for several emails. So if you just do star, you can have like 1,000 emails. Any other questions? If you don't have something like this, then you'd actually have to set up an email. You'd have to set it up. Yeah. You will, I bet you domain.com, right? That's where you got that from. They probably sell email. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Let's source secrets.